Hey, so today we're going to take a look at how to disassemble and clean the Gwinn Bushmaster Arm Pistol. Now this is a pretty unique gun. There's only a handful of videos of it being like shot on YouTube. There's one video of some guy just talking about it. That was boring. And I don't think I've seen one about how to take it apart, how to clean it, just mess around with it. So figured I'd do one myself. And this is how I do it. There's probably a better or, official way of doing it, but this is just how I do it to take it apart and clean it. Anyway, so to begin with, what you will need is a punch, a hex wrench. I don't know the size, but this is the size that goes on the gun, so just try until you get it. A mallet, pair of pliers, bore snake, rag, gun oil, and then a brush, depending on how dirty it is. So, first step, take the magazine out, make sure the gun is safe. It's safe, it's clear, visual inspection and all that. So, the first part is just like any other AR. Take the punch, you punch out the two pins. Now, you might have an E-clip holding the bottom of this pin. Now, if you have the E-clip, just take it out. Mine doesn't, because that was annoying, so I took it off. So, punch out the two pins, and then you should be able to pull it by hand. If not, use a pair of pliers. So, this one's being tough. So, I'm gonna use a huge-ass pair of pliers. You know what? Let me grab a smaller one. There we go. Oops. There we go. And excuse the camera format because it's the first time doing a video like this. Lower, comes straight off. Don't really need that. That's pretty clean most of the time. So I'll put that aside. Now this part gets fun. So what you have to do is you have to take the gas tube operating rod or whatever it's called, retaining pin. So take that out, put that aside. Now you can slide this plate off. This unlocks basically the spring, the operating gas piston. There we go. It is off. This unlocks the piston from the spring, so you can pull it back. Now, what you could get this out, I'm pretty sure, but I just do it the easy way to get the bolt out. I just use a hex wrench to take the screws out on top, put that aside, and second one, put that aside. These aren't threaded very deep, and then the bolt simply slides out. And that's pretty much for, like a fill strip disassembly. Unfortunately, it's not really a fill strip because you need a tool, but that's how you open and clean it. So I'm not going to bore you with the details cleaning. Basically, just brush it, bore snake it and all that. It's pretty simple. As you can see, let's take a look at the camera. So you can see now, you can see straight down to the barrel. But yeah, so we'll cut back after I clean it all. Alright, so I've cleaned the barrel, I've scrubbed the bolt, just lubricated some of it. Just not really a deep cleaning, just enough to kind of like make sure nothing is overly dirty. Anyway, so to put it back together, it's just the complete opposite. You start with putting back the bolt first. So you pull the charging handle near the top so you can slide the bolt in. This is a little bit tricky because you gotta kind of hold the bolt in place. So it lines up the screw holes, and then put the screws in. They are both the same threads, so you don't really have to worry about using the wrong screw. But make sure it's tight though. That's the important part. I have accidentally left it not as tight as it should be. And one time when I fired it, it kind of deformed because the screws loosened, the bolt started sagging, and then it actually deformed this plate on top, which made it a nightmare to take apart because the plate needs to be able to ride on the rails on the inside. So if it's just slightly deformed, it's bad. So basically, make it as tight as you can. Not too tight because it looks like the previous owner stripped the screws. So, just give it a pretty good tightening. There we go. So make sure, still nice and smooth. And then don't forget this plate. I forgot to put this plate. It's more of a dust cover, and you don't really need it, I don't think. But This is how it is. And put the gas to the piston in. There is a divot that you will see that goes forward. So I don't know if you can tell, but there's a divot, and this divot points towards the muzzle. So put this on, and then it's not really real science. I just take a mallet and then make sure it's on, and then come on. Okay. Now it's just making me look bad. Why you do this, gun? Why do you make me look bad? It usually isn't this hard. You just kind of put it on and then it just goes in with like one solid hit. This gun's making me look bad now. There you go. So yeah. So line it up, hit it in, and then lower, just like an AR. The important thing is trip the bolt, or not trip the whole bolt. Trip the hammer. So make sure the hammer is in the front. And then put the buffer in, or not the buffer, put the little rubber piece in, slide it in, pop, pop, and there we go. And then function check, make sure everything's together. Yep, sounds good, everything works. And yeah, so that's how you take apart and clean a Gwinn Bushmaster Arm Pistol. Now I am gonna have a video talking about it, shooting it, you know, it's a fun piece, interesting piece, and yeah, thanks for watching, and if you like, subscribe, otherwise, you know, post some comments on the bottom if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.